and it is. Okay, she's gonna look like the Reach toothbrush guy doing this view. So what's the main thing I want to do? I already have my technique set there. Everything we're doing skull is going to be a small focal spot, okay? I have my equipment set up. I would say you're going to be like a perfect height for me, so I have it set up about perfectly for what I would do to make sure of that is I'm going to be like, oh, okay, feel for her anion, and I kind of want that lined up with the middle of my board. So she's actually like my perfect patient at this moment. So what I would do is I'd have Brittany go ahead and step forward, and she would need to be shielded, hair down, okay? You want bobby pins, everything has to be out of the hair, no combs, doodads, nothing, any weave, eye piercing, yeah, weaves, if they have a weave, you need to make a note that they have a weave or a wig. If they have any type of tight braids and stuff, you're going to want to make a note of it because it is going to show up on the x-ray, especially digitally. Tongue rings, nose rings, cheek rings, any rings, out, 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 necklaces off, okay, and anything in the mouth gone. So we're always going to ask people whether we think they have anything in their mouth or not. If you have anything in your mouth, I need you to spit it out, okay? I've seen people cause other people to get critical errors by thinking they were being cutesy pie and having gum in their mouth and not chewing it while their person was watching them and then being like, so they, oh, Miss Ray, do you see I got gum in my mouth and they didn't ask me?
I was smacking you.
Okay, I'm just saying, don't be butt. But just make sure you ask them, okay? Alright, so, what we're going to do is we're going to go really quick when we're doing this, and Brittany's going to go ahead and lean back, all the way back. Keep going, back, 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 back. You're still going to go more. More. You're trying to line up her IOML perpendicular with the IR, okay? And then we're going to look at her, and we want this. We can be a little lower, but we're not going to mess around a whole lot. Set that up, go back again a little bit. Okay, right there, IOML, the one below the eye. Here, set her there. I'm gonna go, expose, come back, hand on shoulder, Brittany, stand up. Oh, does that hurt, Brittany?
Yes, that was very uncomfortable.
Okay, it is not fun, okay? Now I'm gonna show you with her, shut that off. I'm gonna show you with her standing up. The IOML, again, is this line right here, okay? That's the line that I had parallel to the image receptor when she was in this position. So, very, very uncomfortable. We do this one first because it's going to be the hardest one for the patient to do. So let's get the hardest one out of the way first so everything's kind of downhill from there. Okay? So you'll do that one first, but you see how I had everything set up in my room and just placed her, go, expose, come back, hand on shoulder, have her stand up. Just like before when we're like, we don't want them to get any vertigo or anything.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to assist them when they're standing up so that they don't do this little wiggle wobble and fall down. We don't like that. Okay? And so you're going to have to pay attention. As we go through this through the weeks and we're doing the SMV in different exams, you may find yourself that it might get easier for people to do this while sitting down and tilting their head back. We'll just have to see with different people. We don't do it laying down, so, but we can try different ways. In this room, we do not have enough room to set somebody down in a chair and do the SMV with them sitting in the chair. But if you have somebody that's a little wobbly or a little unstable, Bill, he will be perfect timing. He will be a good one maybe to check and see about doing in the chair. But it's gonna have to be where we can get the tube down low enough. When we're comping, we'll be comping in the other room because we have a little more distance between the tube and the IR, okay? So it does make life a little easier. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have Brittany go ahead and spin around. And notice I'm using left marker. I'll pretty much stay left marker for everything on this, and go ahead and turn all the way. And the next one that you're going to do is going to be your PA axial or your Caldwell, okay? If we were doing the PA 0, we would go ahead and do the PA 0 first, because why? I have no angle on my tube right now. So it would make the most sense to do that PA 0 now, okay? But since I don't have to worry about that one for comp, we'll go ahead and we'll set up for the Caldwell. So we want a 15-degree angle, and that 15-degree angle is coming off the 90, right?
Okay, go ahead and bring it here. What's the technique?
And out to the board. The first one for the SAB, no, go ahead. Straight, there you go, and towards the board. And they
What?
have on your sheets, the sheets that I gave you, your techniques are on there. Okay, now. Okay, this one, you're trying to have your OML perpendicular to your IR. And on this one, most of your patients will probably be able to have their forehead and their nose against the IR, but it's just going to depend if they have a larger nose or a smaller nose. They may not be in that exact position, but the OML is going to be perpendicular. That's what's going to matter. So some people might have to balance on their nose. It's going to just depend on the person, okay? And this one, I'm trying to do here, is exit the nasion. Everybody remembers where the nasion is, right? Okay, and so for Brittany, that's right here. So if I come down, notice I pulled Brittany away from the board a little bit, so I didn't pull her little nose down the board and scrape it down the board. So that's what we want to do, is we want to be exiting the nasion there, okay? So this one's a little lower technique. This one's like at 75 at 5. You know, some people might be
You look like you're in pain.
set as low as 7. But this one we drop a little. And we would just have her stop breathing, hold still, expose, okay?
75 at 5.
Okay, so that's your Caldwell, okay? Now, the next thing we do is we're gonna go ahead and drop down a little bit, and we're gonna go back to our, and I'm just gonna get my board again, and I'm going to have Brittany just go ahead and turn real shallow obliques and turn your head. So what we're trying to do here is we're going to try to be a real shallow oblique. This is doing our laterals, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our patient as close to the IR as we can, but maintaining that MSP being parallel to the IR and not tilting their head. So we have to pay attention. So we want the interpupillary to be perpendicular to, so we have to watch out for all this stuff. And this one, since it's the skull, we don't want to have her, we don't need her mandible in here. And we go from the AM here, and we want to be about 2 inches above it. And we want to be straight above it, okay? And bring her just a hair. And I basically want that CR to be going straight up and down across her ear. And here's the AM, and I basically want to be about that 2 inches above it, okay? Now, this is when we get up close and personal a lot. Okay. We're going to try to get her as close. Yeah, this is the part where you're going to love me. And the darker their eyes are, the harder it is to go look and pay attention to the IPL. But it's not impossible. So. And it's in a dark room, so it makes it even better. So see how she's off the board some? Okay, we're not going to care about that because if I try pushing her into the board, then I'm going to be tilting her, I'm going to be rotating her. Now all I can do is try to get the body as close as I can, but once I've done that, then I'm not going to do anything more to bring her closer, okay? So, again, MSP, I want to make sure that that is parallel to my IR, so I want to make sure it's a straight line. I don't want any tilt. So the GAL should be straight up and down there, and then her IPL should be perpendicular. And if I need to, I can put that right up flat against it to make sure I maintain it. Okay, and that's all the more I do. The mandible does not get included in this, okay? So don't worry about getting your mandible in. You need the rest, so you need all your cranial bones, okay? There we go. And that's all the more we want to do, and we're basically centered on I'm a little smaller than the 10 by 12. And that's the lateral, that's going to be your lowest technique, okay? And that's usually about 3.3 to 5, all right? And about 70 kb. Relax. Are you having fun?
I can probably zoom in on my face right now.
Oh, yeah.
She's laughing.
Is she making fun of you?
Probably my hair. It's okay.
All right. So now this next one, the only way we're going to be able to do this in the room is by having a chair, and that's why on pretty much everybody we're going to have them seated or laying down. So this one's going to go last, okay? Makes sense that this one will go last because what do we want to do? Standing, 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 right? And then sit or lay down.
Do you do both side laterals, or do you just do the one?
When we're comping, we're only going to do one, and it'll be whatever you're told as your site of injury. Okay?
Okay, so are you having your side of injury against the board?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, site of injury is going to be closest to the board. Now, this one, if we can get the, to be perpendicular to the IR, which is our perfect world, okay? If we can do that, then we can do the 30-degree caudal angle. This is our towns, our AP axial, okay? And I'm gonna have you sit in this chair, okay? This is like first thing's gotta go wrong, okay? Now, this is where we're gonna get to see how messed up people's necks are, okay? In your OML, you want perpendicular to your IR. Brittany can actually do that pretty good. We want to push her backwards. By week 2, she might not be as good, but right now she's awesome. We're going to see if she'll come in perfectly for us. So, a little bit to go around. This one, we're coming in about 2.5 inches above glabella, which for almost everybody is going to be right about at their hairline. Huh? What? So make sure, because it's a real steep angle, so make sure with I'm just not off that. Center to there, okay? See how she looks for this one? So it's a real steep angle and everything, and we're gonna be back at that like 80 at 7.5 for this. Make sure when you're doing this that you're getting lined up to your image receptor because of the steep angle. It's gonna look really odd. is that a real comfortable one? Not crazy, right?
It's not bad.
Turn
The
on
first one was terrible.
Yes, no, okay, so relax. So, and that one, again, that's our AP Axial or our towns. We're gonna have people who are not going to be able to get their head in that position. One of the limiting problems we have in this room is getting high enough to be able to set like that 37-degree angle if we have to go to IOML. And as you'll see through the weeks, our angle will become steeper because it'll become a modified